Hello and welcome to the Squadron 42 development report, looking at what Cloud Imperium have been working on for their single-player Star Citizen campaign, Squadron 42 Episode 1, over the last few weeks, and what they're focused on now in May 2023. There are no release dates, no inklings of when Episode 1 will be released yet, but we still have a load of development information, and they are actually making pretty big strides in finishing off big feature sets. We also have a load of AI updates that are both relevant for very much Squadron 42 and Star Citizen's Persistent Universe in the shorter term. The gameplay features team continued working on the new Mobiglass apps, including the ship status home screen widget, notifications, and collectible screens. They also revisited the character customizer to add the next layers of functionality, including face sculpting, and they implemented usability feedback. Further optimization work was completed. For example, a ship's crew can now snap to a new schedule with minimal reloading when players come back from a mission or time has passed via sleep. A new way to animate light volumes was added. Now the team can turn groups of lights on and off using planar, radial, or random sequences. Objective markers were also added to the star map so that they're always clamped and visible, even when off-screen or merging with another entity. The drone and vehicle remote control interface was further iterated on too. Really looking forward to drones being in-game. The vehicle features team progressed with various UI features. As part of this, the multifunction displays, MFDs, and now support comms calls, which was completed for the wider company to use when playing the game. The vehicle features team said, "This is just about complete now, so we'll move on to implementing more MFD views, such as the scanning and radar screen and IFCS ship system screens." The new vehicle heads-up display, HUD, is nearing completion. Further iteration is underway on the visual layout, though it is largely functional and widely in use. This work also extended to the turret UI, which received new visuals and functionality to improve the overall performance. Vehicle UI then supported the development of in-game markers. These tasks include adding radar contact markers to vehicles, mission objectives, and quantum destinations. As this encompasses several different systems, the main goal is to ensure the intended flow through the game's levels is clearly communicated. Away from UI, vehicle features finished the wingman commands mentioned in the last report. This led to various design changes, including the addition of commands to help players manage their wingmen correctly. They also implemented AI tasking to enable the wingmen to follow directions. Supporting character dialogue is currently underway as well. Control surfaces were further developed last month, specifically autopilot. This required a custom autopilot setup that behaves differently to thruster flight, as control surfaces are highly dynamic and the new flight model varies greatly depending on atmospheric conditions. This new control mechanism flies the ship in a similar way to real-life fly-by-wire systems. It was then heavily tested and is currently nearing completion. Gameplay Story created another series of animations for the Gladius deck crew. For this, they reused various assets from the first series and adjusted skeleton animations and distances. They progressed with minor updates across a wide range of scenes, including updating 20 scenes with either new poses, prop updates, start and end times, or general polish and maintenance. They said all of this was a considerable body of work and it felt great to accomplish so many updates. A new scene was also implemented into Chapter 4 and significant updates were made to several scenes using new motion capture. They also began discussing scenes in Chapter 19 which had not previously received much attention. Narrative began sweeping through scripts for the entire game to ensure they're still in line with the latest playthroughs. They also prepared for a number of mocap shoots to pick up additional content that was called out, which led to scripting, capturing placeholder recordings, and testing material to see if the content is ready to be captured. Outside of scenes, narrative captured wildline sets for various gangs that players will encounter both in FPS and flight sections of the campaign. They also captured wildlines for population NPCs, known internally as red shirts, who utilize dynamic conversation content to fill the gaps between the silent masses and scripted characters. Away from scripts and performances, the team started working through the vast amount of text that players will encounter. This includes everything from the moment-to-moment mission objectives, after-action reports that summarize the player's performance in the mission, environmental narrative, i.e. messages on terminals, and the Galactopedia entries. The animation team worked on the Spec Ops and Screaming Gallisons NPCs Vandal melee combat, and civilian walk animations. They also created blockouts for blanket use in beds, the janitor, and carrier personnel. Then animations were added for a new creature, the AI searching behavior, weapon customization, the player chow line, players using locker doors, and more. A mocap session was held to capture assets needed for the coming month. 2 further sessions were also planned, one with a single actor and one with 2 to capture various combat data. On the facial side, the team processed a large number of selects for episode 1, quality controlling the captured data so the rest of the team can start working on it. The vehicle feature team completed the new fighter combat AI flow design and can now play against NPCs with a reasonable variety of behaviours. They recently moved on to testing and tweaking, though they'll continue to further modify the behaviours based on various character traits, for example, making them more aggressive or cautious, which results in visible differences in the NPCs' behaviours. This will be the AI vehicle features focus over the coming months. Time was also spent improving ship spline following. This involved implementing new algorithms for calculating a ship's speed along a spline to prevent it from flying off. They also began experimenting with the procedurally generated splines feature, which enables ships to fly around reasonably detailed geometry without colliding with anything. This will be useful for various features, including the ship recall feature. The AI content team continued to refine behaviours, improve animations, and develop new features. This involved further work on the sleep and bed relaxation behaviours, which received improved animations. They also polished the various leisure animations that allow characters to watch TV and use the mobiGlass on bunk beds. A basic security guard was implemented to patrol the Stanton and Shubin station, which will be iterated on. This was also updated to rotate between the Tinker bench and firing range for a more realistic flow. For the deck crew, AI content upgraded the diagnostic cart, allowing AI to push it like a trolley around a Gladius and interact with the console at various points. They also added new scooch animations and created blockout animations for the personnel carrier, including enter and exit animations for the driver, co-pilot, and back seats. Development of the Fight Club and character locomotion continued, with various animation improvements being introduced. For example, the team polished the bouncer animations for the club entrance and improved AI animations for characters in severe pain. Additionally, they set up a new locomotion set for the junkie and tired characters, which adds variety and visual interest. Various AI blockouts for animations for janitorial tasks were created, such as placing and using the mop and bucket. AI content also made significant progress on the janitor's workflow. AI content added variation to the trolley artwork, moving away from the white box version. Further expansions were planned too. They're currently looking to prevent trolleys from popping and improve the box placement in hangars for a more realistic and less robotic feel. AI features progressed with characters using sniper rifles, creating a prototype behavior that allows them to fire from low cover. This uses a new Overwatch trait and behavior flow. They also continue to work on the melee combat behavior for a specific encounter, including synchronized attacks between the player and enemy. This utilizes locomotion that allows the enemy to close in on the player and duck and dive around them when they're getting ready to attack. AI features also continue to support weapon usage from transporter entities, which refers to anything an NPC can ride. AI social work progressed too, with the team creating a 4-legged creature that players can pet. What could that be? Some form of space dog? AI tech progressed with navigation and movement system features. They also completed tasks for the navigation cost area modifier, which will mark specific areas and increase or decrease the cost of paths that go through them. This will influence which paths NPCs or ground vehicles choose, alongside polishing and providing feedback on the feature. A way for entity tags to influence cost area was also implemented, so a location with fire will have a high cost for normal NPCs to ensure they avoid it if possible. However, the same area will have a lower cost for NPCs wearing fire protection, so they know that they can move through that relatively unscathed. Work also began on ground vehicle collision avoidance, which involved updating the system to support both vehicle-to-vehicle and vehicle-to-NPC avoidance. This required unifying how agents are separated. Previously, they were separated by agent type, medium characters, large vehicles, etc. Now all agent types with different avoidance radiuses, and rules are processed together, providing they're in the same navigation volume. AI tech updated behaviors and tactical point system requests relating to transit. They also cleaned up and optimized transit in the movement system, which involved updating the pause movement functionality logic used when running navigation link logic. Now it will only pause the movement request at that moment, and all follow requests will be processed. Boom! That's it for your Squadron 42 development report for May 2023. I am liking the idea that a new flight model might be nearing completion, or at least parts of it that can then be sort of fed into the persistent universe. We do know that Cloud Imperium are obviously working on those master modes and the quantum or nav mode versus the combat or SCM mode, so that there's a very marked difference between traveling fast, traveling in quantum, and being in combat. Can't use your shields and weapons while you're in the nav mode, but you can't move like in cruise speeds or go into quantum when you're in your SCM modes, but you do have your sort of access to weapons and shields there. So getting that, updating the flight model with that, getting the atmospheric flight model into a good state, getting those control surfaces all in, that really excites me. I'm interested to know what you are excited for when it comes to Squadron 42 development. Are you interested in features that will then sort of be coming into the persistent universe? Are you interested in Squadron 42 Episode 1 itself? And yes, I really want this single-player campaign to come out because it proves that Cloud Imperium can actually make a fully complete released product, and hopefully that will be great. Are you not interested in Squadron 42 hardly at all and just interested in the shared development information? Do you like what they're talking about with the AI updates? When do you think Squadron 42 Episode 1 will actually be released? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but give him a NordVPN subscription using nordvpn.com/BoredGamer or the links below, and he'll browse the internet more safely and with greater accessibility for a lifetime, or at least until his subscription ends. He can then shop for his own fish from places like Tesco's, Walmart, or Asda or something. It also makes a fantastic gift. Next time you go to a dinner party or a wedding, bring them a NordVPN subscription. Bam! You'll be the talk of the town, and it's certainly better than bringing a fish. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to go further to support the channel, then use that join button under my videos or the Patreon links below. That would be amazing. It goes a long way to helping Zin and I be able to create daily videos, and you'll get some exclusive perks, including some videos, posts, and polls to help guide the channel. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For May, it's for an Origin 400i, the luxury exploration touring ship capable of taking 3 crew to distant stars. It also comes with lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. To be in for a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details down below. Thanks very much for watching. I hope to see you in the verse.